And welcome back inside of Murner Gymnasium. Pfeiffer, game 2 of a doubleheader. The men hosting Piedmont, 12-8, coming in out of the opposite side of the USA South Conference. And the Lions are making the trip from Demarest, Georgia. They've got a couple guys that can go in double figures. Justin Vallejo, Taylor Mills, and Marquise Lanier. Pfeiffer's without Josh Calhoun. They're without Marcus Sawyers for the rest of the year. And the rotations have been switched up. This is a tough time for Pfeiffer. They're having to find themselves with some other guys that maybe weren't relied upon as much to score, now have to be more of offensive threats, and this is a Pfeiffer team. They average right at 110 points a game. Piedmont, 75.5. They want to keep this game lower scoring, slow it up, work the shot clock. We'll see who can control the pace early on in this basketball game. Pfeiffer and Piedmont will have the starting lineups and the national anthem next, right here on the Pfeiffer Falcon Sports Network and GoFalconSports.com. All right, we're back inside of Murner Gymnasium in the village of Meisenheimer. Pfeiffer and Piedmont. This is the first and only meeting in the regular season. The USA South Conference split into two sides, an East and a West. And these two teams cross divisions to play this one. You play everybody on your side twice, everybody on the opposite side once. And Piedmont making the trip to the village of Meisenheimer. Of course, Pfeiffer will return the trip next year at Demarest, Georgia. Lions are going to be in the silver unis with green trim down the side, green letters, green numbers. Pfeiffer is going with their black uniforms and gold letters, gold numbers here at home today for this one. It should be a good basketball game between these two. We mentioned Piedmont is 12-8. They're coming off of a win by 6 at Greensboro. They've won 3 in a row. Berea, Brevard, and Greensboro, all 3 wins over the last week and a half. And the Lions and the Pfeiffer Falcons getting set to do battle. Evan Fauché will jump it up against Elijah Alston. Justin Valleyjoe, Marquise Lanier, Landry Asanesi, and Taylor Mills are the starting 5 for the Lions. Javon Patton, Brian Harper, Craig Sabb, Evan Fauché, and Josiah Avington, the 5 on the floor for the Falcons. And the Lions control the opening tip. Missed with the left hand is Marquise Lanier. Fauché loses the handle, trying to take it up the floor himself, and it's a quick turnover. Back to Piedmont. Inside to Lanier. Off the glass, no. Tip back, no. And Avington pulls down the rebound. And a quick foul is called against the Lions of Piedmont. And they're going to get Elijah Alston, the sophomore from Brunswick, Georgia. First foul of the game. And Brian Harper will take it across the timeline here inside of Murner Gymnasium for this one. Javon Patton, left wing, trying to drive down the alley, picks up his dribble, bounces it back out high to Harper, slithers in the paint, trying to take it up against Justin Valleyjoe, and he lost it out of bounds. Nobody scored, a turnover right back to Piedmont. Pfeiffer did not start out good yesterday against Brevard, and a come-from-behind victory as the Falcons force a turnover. Here comes Harper. In transition, kicks it back to Javon Patton. Down the alley, had it poked free. Valleyjoe reached in there to take it away. 18:47 to play. Piedmont's trying to play a track meet, and a 3-ball is up and good for Elijah Alston, and the Lions get on board first here inside of Murner Gymnasium. Avington from NBA range connects. We're tied at 3. Here comes the full court press for the Pfeiffer Falcons. Evan Fauché hounding the basketball far side. There's the trap from Sabb and Fauché. Harper trying to come over. He's just a shade late closing out on Lanier, who knocks down the 3. And Sabb has it left wing. Tosses it back to Harper. Kicks it over to Sabb. Shot fake. Gets in the paint. He'll fall away and rattles it in. 6-5. Here comes the trap. Avington trying to lure him. Up the near sideline. Down low. Valleyjoe gets it to go with the right hand. Good ball movement for Piedmont. They've got a 3-point lead. And this one's intercepted but saved back in bounds. They say Landry Asanesi was out of bounds. And Brendan Jones, Blake Smith, Nolan Whitener, and Eric Ambrosio check in. They're going to leave Brian Harper on the floor here in the first half. Blake Smith catches, fires from the left corner. And that hit the side of the backboard and trickled over after touching the rim. Out of bounds, back to Piedmont. 3-point Lions lead. Smith intercepts it and had it rejected by Alston. Piedmont gets it back. They've got a 3-point lead. They kick it over, right corner. Mills, shot fake, slices it down the lane. He couldn't finish, but he draws the contact. And the foul was on Nolan Whitener. That's the first against Pfeiffer. And team foul number 1 against the Pfeiffer Falcons as well. And the first one is up and through for Taylor Mills, who's at the charity stripe now. He's a junior from Beaufort, Georgia. Mills, a 79% free throw shooter, so pretty solid at the charity stripe this year. Second one is up, and it's good. Lions have doubled the score. Less than 3 minutes in to the first half. Harper gets into the paint, kicks it back out. Patton's going to try and drive. He'll kick it out. Avington, chest pass back to the top. Avington catches, had it denied on the three. And here comes Taylor Mills and the Piedmont Lions. 16:53 to play in the first half. Three on the way, swirls in for Elijah Alston. Too much space. Alston can knock it down. And he shows it right there, 13-5, as Patton is fouled driving in. Well, the head coach for Piedmont, Greg Neely, in his 5th season. Jeremy Courier, the head coach for Pfeiffer, in his 8th season. And whistles come in. We've got foul away. Head coach Jeremy Courier's upset right now with his first unit. And you got Blake Smith, Eric Ambrosio, Nolan Whitener, Brendan Jones, and Brian Harper on the floor. Harper is going to play the bulk of the minutes. He's been in double figures the last 2 games. Here's Ambrosio, left corner. Teardrop, spins in and out, tips around, and Ambrosio runs it down in the corner. Good hustle play by Eric Ambrosio. Jones slices in and gets the right hand to go. 13-7, 16-18 to play the first half. Up ahead, they bounce it inside. This is Valley Joe. Turnaround, got the right hand to go. Justin Valley Joe, the 6'6 forward from Daytona Beach, has an early 4 points for the Lions. And Harper catches, top of the key. He'll drive in, muscles his way up, couldn't get it to go down, but sneaks in to take it away from Elijah Alston. Ambrosio up and under. He had it denied, and the Lions get it back. Up ahead comes Piedmont. Asanesi kicks it out. 3 on the way from Mills is good. 18-7. Back to Whitener at the top of the key. Here's Blake Smith. Deadly outside shooter. He was a double-figure guy the first couple games this year. He's missed a lot with injury. Pfeiffer got him back yesterday. Whitener down the baseline, kicks it out. 3 on the way. Jones couldn't connect. And the rebound is pulled down by the Lions. Pfeiffer's got to be careful here. It's 18-7 already. Valley Joe bounces it low to Alston. A cutting. Marquise Lanier couldn't finish. And here comes Eric Ambrosio the other way for Pfeiffer. Pulls up, right hand. No, it's off the mark. And that's Eric Ambrosio's shot, that teardrop. He's missed 2 in the lane. And here comes Piedmont. Looking to skip it back out. Alston connects from downtown. And it's 21-7 with 14.5 to play in the first half. Here comes Pfeiffer back the other way. Whitener has it at the top. Harper left wing. He'll let it go. Right elbow good. Pfeiffer needed that badly with 14:21 to play. Here comes the trap again. Pfeiffer, they will press the entire game without Josh Calhoun and Marcus Sawyers in the lineup here this afternoon, as well as yesterday. They had to come from behind. And Asanesi is fouled out front. We've reached a media timeout with 14. Piedmont leads Pfeiffer here, and they are 75% shooting, 9 of 12. And a lot of their buckets from close range here in this one inside of Murner Gymnasium. Pfeiffer back to the free throw line again. This is Josiah Avington, and he nicks the front edge of the rim. And Avington's a guy that did not begin playing this year until right at Christmas. Second one's up, and it's good. A 10-point Piedmont lead over the Pfeiffer Falcons right now inside of Murner Gymnasium. And Asadesi gets it across the timeline for the Lions. Out to the right wing, three ball is good for Elijah Alston. 28-15, here comes Patton. It's off the mark. Landry Asadesi brings it back across the timeline for Piedmont. 13-point lead. Lions have led by as many as 16 in this basketball game. Shot clock down to 12. They dump it inside. This is Nick Ryan. Turnaround off the window, no. Rebound pulled down by Pfeiffer. Here comes Craig Sabb, far sideline. Back out to Avington. Jones thought about the three. And Patton's going to pull it back away. Pfeiffer's got 5 guys outside the arc right now. Harper, dribble drive, back to Jones. He'll try a three, misses short. This one's tipped around, and there's a whistle and a foul. Charge to Craig Sabb trying to go after the rebound. And Nolan Whitener will check back in for Pfeiffer. They'll set right back up into their full court man-to-man press. Pfeiffer's got to kind of be a little bit selective about when they trap because the rotation's a little bit different without Josh Calhoun and Marcus Sawyers. And a finger roll over the front edge from Marquise Lanier. Back up the floor comes Jones. Reverse, no. Justin Valleyjoe pulls down the rebound. And once again, the Lions have doubled the score, 30-15. 10:23 to play first half. 3 on the way, right corner, good for Alston, and it's 33-15. Here comes Eric Ambrosio. Whitener will hand it off to Harper. Whitener's going to try a three, and he gets it to go. Nolan Whitener rarely ever attempts a three, but knocks it down. That was a good-looking stroke there by the big fella. And Pfeiffer's only down by 15, 9:55 to play first half. Inside to Valleyjoe, he's got a mismatch on Harper. Backs his way in and lays it off the glass. Here comes Harper back the other way. Spins, Whitener again for three. He's 2 for 2 from downtown. And Pfeiffer might be finding something. Nolan Whitener, they've left him alone 2 straight times down the floor. He's hit 2 threes. Justin Valleyjoe back out to the left wing. Alston down the right side of the paint. This one altered. Pfeiffer pulls down the rebounds. And a whistle and a foul is charged to the Piedmont Lions. Pfeiffer, they want to turn this thing into a track meet and see how long Piedmont can go. Gabe Miller, Javon Patton, Josiah Avington, Evan Fauché check in. Harper will stay on the floor for Pfeiffer. And Harper's at the free throw line for Pfeiffer. And he catches in on the 1-and-1. 17 fouls against Piedmont so far in the first half. 80% is Brian Harper at the charity stripe on the year. He does a lot of the little things as he gets the second one to go as well. 12-point Lions lead. Down the alley, bounce feed, across court to Lanier. Left corner, 9:05. Here's Valleyjoe. Going to take it against Evan Fauché. He tries to kick it out. Back underneath to Valleyjoe. Backs his way in. Couldn't get it to go over the top of Fauché, and he pulls down the rebound. 8:50, here comes Pfeiffer. This is a big possession here. Gabe Miller to Javon Patton. He's got space down the baseline and lays it home. And Pfeiffer has it within 10 with 8:38 to play in the first half. Back the other way comes Lanier, and he turns it back over. Craig Sabb, Nolan Whitener going to check in quickly. And there's a swarm of substitutions checking in for both teams. And here comes Javon Patton across the Falcon Head logo at midcourt. Kicks it over, Gabe Miller. Back out front to Harper. Whitener hands it off left wing. He'll jab and bounce it back over to the right perimeter. This is Craig Sabb. Good crossover dribble. Drops it off. Whitener back out to Patton for three. He got it. Deficit trimmed back down to single digits. Here comes Lanier. They bounce it underneath the Valley Joe, and he had it deflected out of bounds by Nolan Whitener. 8:03 to play in the first half. 7-point Lions lead. They once led by 16. Landry Asanesi with the basketball on the baseline. Bounces it in. It's out of bounds. Fumbled by Alston, and they'll give it right back to Pfeiffer. Michael Joseph checks in for Piedmont. It's 35-28 with 8:02 to play. This is a Piedmont team. They're big. They've got a lot of size, including Taylor Mills, who's 6'1" guard in the game now as well, as Miller slices in. Out to Javon Patton, left perimeter. Eric Ambrosio has it. Looking to drive, back out front. Miller jabs, hands it off to Whitener. Patton from the top of the key for three, off the right side of the rim, and a reach-in foul is called against Pfeiffer. With 7:36, we've reached our second media timeout. We'll be right back on the Pfeiffer Falcon Sports Network and GoFalconSports.com. (35-28) to score here inside of Murner Gymnasium. Pfeiffer, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they've trailed as many as 16 points in this basketball game. They're in the black unis. Piedmont is in the silver today. And there's a trap, and Piedmont's forced to burn another timeout. Good D from Pfeiffer. And the intensity starting to pick up for the Falcons. They were down 21-9, then 25-9 out of a timeout. And Courier really challenged them to get back in this game. You could hear it. We're about 12 rows up earlier in this game to fight and get back in this. And they did just that. Within single digits, now they're within striking distance, and there's still 7:26 left to play. So you're without Josh Calhoun. He's a 25-point scorer a night on average. Marcus Sawyers was a 14-point scorer on average tonight. Your best two players gone, not here, and Pfeiffer's got to try to make a move somehow. And the rotations have been switched up. Pfeiffer normally sends 4 guys to the glass, but head coach Jeremy Currier not able to do that because no Josh Calhoun. He can jump, and he usually sends Calhoun to the glass. A travel will give it back to Pfeiffer. And Javon Patton will check in for Gabe Miller. And across the timeline comes Brian Harper. Over to Eric Ambrosio. Down the right side of the paint. Stepped on the baseline, and they give it right back to Piedmont. And Craig Sabb's going to check in for Eric Ambrosio. A bounce pass comes into the corner to Marquise Lanier. Here comes the trap for Pfeiffer. Valley Joe catches, baseline J, good. In traffic, Justin Valley Joe, he's smooth. 6'6" forward. Bigger size forward for this league. But I like his game. He's got a lot of good post moves. He's smart. Got a good mid-range jumper. Sabb in the corner, gets into the paint, and he had it poked away. They call it travel. And I'm not sure how they got that call out of a basketball that was swiped loose, but it is Piedmont basketball. The inbound comes from Michael Joseph along the baseline, who gets it to Asanesi. Check that, Austin Young. And Young is tripped from behind. Will be another foul against Pfeiffer. That is the 15th foul with 6:28 to go in the first half. Michael Joseph will trigger it in. 6:21 to play first half. And an offensive foul. Moving screen against Joseph. Pfeiffer basketball. Well, Greg Neely's done a good job. I mentioned this is a Piedmont team. They've got some depth, but he's done a good job subbing in and out of this basketball game in the first half. Brendan Jones thought about it. Ryan Harper at the top of the key. Over to Javon Patton, right corner three ball, nicks the rim. And this one's on the floor. Mills scoops it up. Up ahead, Marquise Lanier kicks it back out to Mills. Down the alley, Lanier scoops it off the glass and in. 39-28. Brendan Jones left wing. Now at the top of the key, 5:38 to play here in the first half. Sabb's going to line it up from downtown, and he gets it to go. 39-31. And that is 6 made threes in the first half for Pfeiffer. Here comes Austin Young down the near sideline. Bounces it ahead for Joseph. He'll take it himself and gets it to go with the right hand. Nobody stopped the basketball high. 41-31. And Craig Sabb lost it out of bounds. But they say it was last touched by Piedmont. It'll be Pfeiffer basketball. Quick inbound goes to Eric Ambrosio. Inside, Fauché trying to turn around, had it poked loose. And back comes the Piedmont Lions with 4:58 to play. Now at the top, they dump it inside. This is Nick Ryan. Left wing to Lanier. Back out front, three on the way. Off the backside of their iron. And off the mark for Taylor Mills. Here comes Eric Ambrosio. Out to Brian Harper for three. He buries it. Brian Harper's going to have to become more of a scorer. We talked about that yesterday and had him on in the postgame show. Said head coach Jeremy Currier challenged him. Look for your shot a little bit more. You don't have Calhoun or Sawyers anymore. Somebody's got to emerge as another scorer. And they poke it out of bounds. Michael Joseph will trigger it in. Pfeiffer's within 7, 4:16 to play in the first half. Evan Fauché hounding the basketball out front. Kicks it over. This is the left corner. Mills back out. Young, top of the key. He'll try it. It nicks the side of the rim. Pfeiffer with the rebounds. Here comes Brian Harper. Back to Josiah Avington. Looks to kick it back. Harper is able to run it down. To the corner. Eric Ambrosio gets in the paint. Looking to drive in. Does. Bullets one back out front to Harper. It's poked free to Fauché. Here's Miller in the paint. And he throws it away. And with 3:33, we have reached our final media timeout. Pfeiffer now by 7. They've weathered the storm. They're back in this game and trying to make a late first half push. We'll be back on the Pfeiffer Falcons Sports Network and GoFalconsports.com. (41-34), 7-point Piedmont lead. They've led the majority of this second half here inside of Murner Gymnasium. And Pfeiffer's done a good job. They were 16 down to weather it and get it back within single digits. And Javon Patton, I should say, steps in front of the passing lane. That's how fast these two teams are playing right now. And Saab pulls up from the free throw line, tips it around. And Piedmont comes away with it. Pfeiffer's had 2 opportunities to get this thing lower than 7. And they give up an easy lay-in on the other end. Cole Husky catches and lays it home. 43-34. Back to the top. Whitener is 2 for 2 from downtown. Over to Saab. He'll try a 3. Couldn't get it to go. Avington on the floor battling. Piedmont comes away with the 50-50 ball. And outlet pass to Husky up ahead. He lost the dribble. But the Lions will reset with 15 on the shot clock. Husky inside. Valley Joe, turnaround. Right hand, no, but he drew the foul. Justin Valley Joe's got a significant size advantage underneath the basket for Piedmont. 6'6", he weighs close to 250. And here he is at the charity stripe for the Piedmont Lions. And the first one is up and good. Pfeiffer down by 10. Justin Valley Joe at the free throw line, though, a little shaky, only 60% on the year. Second one is up, and it's good. 11-point Piedmont lead. 2:18 to play. Eric Ambrosio at the top. Euro steps down the paint, couldn't get it to go. Tipped out of bounds off of Nolan Whitener. Rebound comes to Asanesi, far sideline. Splits a double team, kicks it out, 3 on the way, good for Cole Husky. Now they say it was a 2. Foot was on the line. Ambrosio left wing. Slices in the paint, back out to Harper. He'll try it from downtown and connects. 47-37. Pfeiffer back within 10. Back to Asanesi in the middle of the court. Gets it across the timeline. Active hands on D. They get it in the paint area. This one, bullets off of Brendan Jones. And Sabb picks it up on the other end. It's an offensive foul. He lowered his shoulder. And a tough one to give back. Pfeiffer could have got it to single digits again. And Piedmont will have the basketball with 1:27 to play. Got to go the length of the floor. Full court Pfeiffer man-to-man look on D. They send it long. Asanesi catches it, bounces it low to Valley Joe, and that's easy too for Justin Valley Joe. 49-37 with 1:18 to play in the first half. Harper again, shot fake, gives it up. Patton for three, off the mark. Back to Ambrosio. Pulled down the weak side board. He'll try it from distance. And it nicks the front edge of the rim. And Pfeiffer's ice cold from the outside here in the first half. You got to understand, with Pfeiffer, they hit 14 threes in one half last Sunday. Turnaround, Asanesi spins in and out. 37 seconds. Game clock's at 35. Shot clock is at 26. There's about a 9-second differential. Fauché trying to tip it back in. Patton will try a three. Gets it to go. And Pfeiffer's back within 9. 22 seconds to play. Up the near sideline comes Lanier. He's got it taken away from behind by Fauché. And they say he was out of bounds, so it will stay with the Lions with 17.3 ticks remaining. And this has been a track meet in the first half. Gabe Miller's going to check in for Javon Patton of Pfeiffer. 17.3 ticks left. Again, Piedmont with the basketball. Pfeiffer would like to force a turnover here and cut into this lead. And here we go. Elijah Alston triggers it into Asanesi. Piedmont's going to likely play for one. Of course, the shot clock is dead. Here they go. Lanier down the paint. Had it stripped away by Ambrosio, and they get a foul. Say he got a piece of the arm there. It sounded clean as he swiped the ball out of Alston's hands and, Lanier's hands. Lanier's going to go to the line for Piedmont. And the first one is up and good. It's a 10-point Piedmont lead with 5 seconds remaining. Second one's up and good as well. 51-40, 11-point Piedmont lead. Harper picks it up just inside of midcourt. Patton with 2 seconds, launches, and it wouldn't go down. Looked good for a moment there, but the first half comes to a close. 51-40, Piedmont. An 11-point lead over the Pfeiffer Falcons. We'll be back with more to recap the first half, give you our stats and numbers, and talk about the rest of the slate for both of these teams right here on the Pfeiffer Falcons Sports Network and GoFalconsports.com. Welcome back inside of Murner Gymnasium as we get set to begin the second half between Pfeiffer and Piedmont. 51-40. Lions have an 11-point lead. This is the same spot Pfeiffer was in yesterday when they trailed by 11 to Brevard at the break. They came back to win that one by 8 right here in Murner Gymnasium yesterday. And we'll see if they can do the same thing here. They got it to single digits twice in the first half. Couldn't quite get over the hump. And we are almost set to begin the second half. Individual scoring, 11 for Javon Patton, 10 for Brian Harper, 5 from Craig Sapp, 6 from Nolan Whitener, 4 from Josiah Abington. You had 3 guys that played and didn't score. Gabe Miller, Blake Smith, Evan Fauché, and Eric Ambrosio. 4 guys that played and did not score there in the first. And for Piedmont, 15 points from Elijah Alston, 12 from Justin Valleyjoe, 9 from Marquise Lanier, 6 from Cole Husky, 2 from Miles Riley, 5 from Taylor Mills. And Alston Young, Nick Ryan, Josh Randolph, and Landry Asanesi did not score in the first half as Piedmont shot 68% from the floor, 19 of 28. A lot of their points came in close. They did knock down 7 threes, though, and Patton gets Pfeiffer on the board first. Nice little dribble drive layup. Pfeiffer was 13 of 35 in the first half, 37%. That's the big difference in the game right now. Pfeiffer's been a little bit cold. Justin Valleyjoe on the baseline, gets it to go, he answers. I mentioned earlier, I like Justin Valleyjoe's game. He's got 14 points today as Fauché couldn't knock down the 3. 19-11 to play in the second half. We're just getting underway. Elijah Alston, an offensive board. Valleyjoe again, another opportunity. Couldn't get it to go, but tips it in off the glass. 55-42. A good fight from Justin Valleyjoe. And Brian Harper is fouled driving to the basket. The foul was on Taylor Mills. That's the first of Piedmont here in the second half. Quick inbound to Whitener. Bounces it low, kicks it back out. Brendan Jones, a shot fake. He'll give way. This one's taken away by Mills. Asanesi catches in the backcourt. He'll get it up the floor, far sideline to Marquise Lanier. Look it back to Lanier, inside feed to Valleyjoe. And foul's called on Gabe Miller. Miller didn't like the call. 13-point Piedmont lead. 18.5 minutes to play. They bounce it inside. This is Lanier going to work. Tries to skip it out. Valleyjoe runs it down. Asanesi right back to Valleyjoe for 2 more. And the lead is 15. Piedmont has a 4-point edge here in the second half. Nolan Whitener will try a 3, misses short. And back comes Marquise Lanier for Piedmont. Pfeiffer, they've had it to single digits twice. They haven't been able to get over the hump. And here's a 3 on the way. Swirls in and out. That could have been a dagger against Pfeiffer. That would have given the Lions an 18-point edge. Miller down the right side of the paint, gets it to go with the right hand. 57-44, 17-42 to play in the second quarter. Second half, I should say. Excuse me, I'm still in the women's game as Whitener takes it away. And Harper dribbles it up the floor, kicks it out to Ambrosio. He couldn't knock it down for 3. Whitener runs it down in the corner. Pfeiffer's going to get a fresh 30 on the shot clock as Harper faces up and spins and draws the contact. And with 17-17, Ryan Harper's going to go to the line to shoot 2. He's an 80% free throw shooter. That's a good job at the charity stripe for the Falcons. First one bounces in. And Craig Sabb and Javon Patton check in for Pfeiffer. And Harper swirls the second one in. Brian Harper has stepped up offensively last several games for Pfeiffer. He's looking for a shot even more. Here's a trap. They get out of it. Pull up Jay in the lane. No, misses off the back of the rim. Whitener pulls down the rebounds. Here comes Patton. Back to Sabb. He'll face up and drive on Valley Joe. Off the glass and in. Challenged the taller Justin Valley Joe at the rim there and got it to go off the glass. It's a 9-point game, 57-48. Assanesi up the floor, had it batted down. Piedmont gets it back, and Pfeiffer takes it away again. Here comes Jones. 3-on-2, gives way to Patton. Up and under, it was blocked. And the Lions come back away with it. Piedmont was red hot in the first half shooting. Pfeiffer's within single digits now. Need to force some stops here on the defensive end. 16-12 to play. Three ball misses long. Valley Joe had it stripped away. Back comes Harper. One-on-one against Mills. Couldn't get it to go. It's tipped around, out of bounds, and it will stay with the Pfeiffer Falcons. Exactly 16 minutes to play. We'll take our first media timeout of the second half. Pfeiffer trails by 9, trying to make a second half push here inside of Murner Gymnasium. (57-48) the score here inside of Murner Gymnasium. Exactly 16 minutes left to play. Pfeiffer, they had it to 8 late in the first half, couldn't quite get over the hump. And here's where they stand again. Piedmont has cooled down a little bit, believe it or not. They're 59.5% from the field. They were 67% at halftime. Pfeiffer's trying to weather the storm. This is a back end of a 2-game weekend for both of these teams as Sabb gets to go. And it's a 7-point basketball game. Here comes Assanesi, trying to elude the defenders of Pfeiffer. They bounce it back over far side to Riley. He'll skip it out to Landry Assanesi. Marquise Lanier, left perimeter. Three on the way off the right side of the rim. This one's tipped around. Patton runs it down in the corner, and this is Pfeiffer's opportunity. Craig Sabb, quick crossover dribble, gets in the paint, kicks it out. Harper has a seam. Out to Javon Patton. Not a good look as he gives it right back to Harper. Over to Brendan Jones for 3. Spins it and out, and the rebound pulled down by Piedmont. Justin Valley Joe will try a 3, and he connects. Justin Valley Joe has 21 points for Piedmont, back to a 10-point lead for the Lions. Harper over to the corner. Brendan Jones down the baseline, kicks it out. Craig Sabb with the basketball. Goes up strong, off glass, no. This one's tipped around, and Piedmont controls. That's Miles Riley. Valley Joe gives a fake over the top of Nolan Whitener. Couldn't get it to go. And we've got a hard collision. Brendan Jones was popped, I believe, in the mouth, either by a teammate or Valley Joe. Those were the ones that were scraping for the basketball. There's 14:09 to go in this game. And up the floor comes Javon Patton for Pfeiffer. Patton, top of the key, off the mark on the three. Abington, an offensive rebound. And Ambrosio pulls it back away. Into the paint, back out to Eric Ambrosio. Harper, shot fake. They'll kick it over to Patton. Down the left side of the paint, we've got a whistle and a foul. And it's against the Piedmont Lions. That is team foul number 4 here in the second half against Piedmont. And Abington fumbles it out of bounds. A costly turnover for the Pfeiffer Falcons. And right now, you're just not over the hump. Down by 10, they had it to 7. You've got to take care of the basketball if you're Pfeiffer. And Alston dribbles it across the timeline. There's another blocking foul issue to the Pfeiffer Falcons with 13:26 to play in the second half. And Alston Young is going to trigger it in for Piedmont. Out to Lanier, right corner. They'll work it around the horn back to the top. Young, left perimeter, back across to Alston, who finds a seam and lays it off the glass. Back to a 12-point lead for Piedmont. Craig Sabb in the corner for 3. Off the back of the rim. And the shots are just not falling for Pfeiffer. Cold shooting first half. This is a team that shoots 300 threes before practice every day. And that is their calling card. You look, even though that they've made more than probably the average team in this basketball game, not uncommon for them to make 17, 18 threes a game. And the turnaround's good in the lane. That was Nick Ryan. Harper, left corner. Slices in. Back out front to Sabb. Harper, top of the key for 3. Buries it. And it's back down to 11. And Ambrosio deflects it out of bounds with 12:35 to play in the second half. Michael Joseph will trigger it in. Bounces it in to Riley up the near sideline. Down the alley he goes. And Ryan gathers himself and sticks it in for 2 more. 66-53. Jones slithers in the paint, turnaround, drew the contact. And with 12:20 left on the game clock here in the second half, Brendan Jones has got 2 free throws coming. Pfeiffer is 7 of 8 at the line here this afternoon. First one up, misses short. And Nolan Whitener will check in for Craig Sabb. Second one up and through as well. 12-point Lions lead. Alston Young with the basketball. Down the near side. Whitener's all on him. Now at the top. They bounce it over. Inside to Ryan. Back out. Here come the Lions. Floater off the mark. Jones skies for the rebound. And back comes Pfeiffer. He'll take it across the timeline himself. Lost the handle for a second. Gets it to Whitener. Back to the top of the key. Blake Smith, outside shooters in the game for Pfeiffer. And Ambrosio is bumped out front by Michael Joseph. look at the foul situation right now. Craig Sabb has 3 for Pfeiffer. And nobody really in notable foul trouble for Piedmont. 4 guys with 2 fouls for the Lions. Elijah Alston, Nick Ryan, Miles Riley, and Josh Randolph, each with 2 fouls apiece. We'll keep it right here. This is our second media timeout of the second half, 66-54. Brian Harper and Javon Patton are both in double figures for the Falcons. 15 for Brian Harper. He's 3 of 3 from downtown, 4 of 7 from the field. And again, this is a shorthanded Pfeiffer team and a shortened rotation from what you normally see. Today they've played a total of 10 guys. Not uncommon to see 13 players or even the whole entire team play on this unit. And Courier's gone with a little bit smaller rotation today than he normally plays, and you kind of got to do that when you don't have Josh Calhoun. They're playing an extra big today in most spots. They usually send, as I mentioned before, 4 guys to the glass. Today it's only 3. And Brian Harper's going to trigger it in. Finds Whitener. Ambrosio kicks it out. Harper again spins in the paint. Deflected away. And another steal. That time it was Miles Riley that leaped up and intercepted the pass for Piedmont. Justin Valleyjoe's dead leap, top of the key, buries a 3. The lead is back to 15 for the Lions. Harper slithers down the alley for Pfeiffer. Gets in the paint. Ambrosio's got a wide open look from 3. Can't knock it down. And over the back is called against the Pfeiffer Falcons. They get Nolan Whitener. That is his second foul. Team foul number 3 against Pfeiffer. Michael Joseph is going to trigger it in with 11:08 left to play in the second half. Here comes Riley. This is over to Asanesi. Back out. This could make it an 18-point lead. It does. 3-ball good for Taylor Mills, and Piedmont has their largest lead of the game. Ty Simmons in the game for the first time. Abington for 3 connects. 72-57, 10:34 left to play here in the second half. Fauché nearly took it away. Abington steps in front of the pass, and he'll lay it off the glass and in. Quick 5-0 mini spurt for the Pfeiffer Falcons. 72-59, 10:15 to play in the second half. Cross court skip goes to Asanesi. Out to Justin Valleyjoe. Drops it off. Layup plus the foul for Elijah Alston. There's some holes in that D right now for Pfeiffer. Late shifted over, and Alston made him pay. And the 3-point play is complete by Elijah Alston. And Pfeiffer trails by 16. Craig Sabb surveys the floor. Kicks it out to Patton. Abington again, same spot for 3, connects. And just Josiah Abington is starting to heat up for the Pfeiffer Falcons. That's 2 made threes. 13-point game. Pfeiffer takes it away. Here comes Craig Sabb. In transition, Patton slices in the lane, out to Fauché. Ty Simmons has it top of the key. Fauché thought about it, gets to the bucket, but he couldn't finish. 9:23 to play second half. Back across, Ty Simmons steals it away from Justin Valleyjoe. And here comes Simmons on the other end, draws the contact. Ty Simmons, a 5'6" freshman from Roanoke Rapids, gets in the game for the first time this afternoon and makes something happen. And again, he played a little bit in some of the blowout wins earlier in the year and looked pretty good off the bench. Played some yesterday in the win against Brevard, and he makes the first. Pfeiffer trails by 12. They've had it as low as 7 here in the second half, and Simmons cashes in on both. It's an 11-point basketball game here inside of Murner Gymnasium. Alston bullets one. Valley Joe's left all alone underneath the basket and lays it in. 77-64. Brendan Jones in the paint. Ty Simmons will try a three, and he knocks it down. I think you're going to have to leave Ty Simmons in the game. He's got a steal, a made three, and 2 made free throws in the last couple minutes, and there he is taking a charge. How about the freshman emerging here in the second half, and Pfeiffer's within 10 with the basketball and 8:44 left to play. And Javon Patton will bring it across the timeline for Pfeiffer. Quick crossover dribble. Here's Simmons. Out front, kicks it out. Abington, left corner three, misses short. Piedmont runs down the rebounds. Pfeiffer's got 2 guys back. Lions have the numbers. Up ahead, 3 on the way from Mills, and he buries it. And Piedmont is on fire from the outside. That's 11 made threes here today as Patton muscles his way up. Couldn't get it to go down. Asenesi up the floor for the Lions. 3 on the way, bounces around, tip back from Valley Joe, no. Whitener fouls him, and he lays it in. And Justin Valley Joe has 28 points and is going to the free throw line to complete a 3-point play. Harper, Ambrosio, and Sabb check in for Pfeiffer. Eric Ambrosio is a pretty good outside shooter, although today has struggled. 0 of 3. He's scoreless. Pfeiffer needs him to get going. Down 16 with 8 minutes to go. Here he is in the corner. Here's Ambrosio. Floater. Gets the bounce over the front edge. That's his first made bucket. Right on cue. Ambrosio good on the defensive end. And here comes Asenesi. Gets rid of it to Lanier. Here's the trap from Sabb and Whitener. Down the near sideline. And an offensive foul again against the Piedmont Lions. Pfeiffer basketball. And Nick Ryan checks in for Justin Valley Joe. And we've reached our under 8 media timeout here inside of Murner Gymnasium. 83-69. We'll be back on the Pfeiffer Falcons Sports Network and GoFalconsports.com. $83-69, 7:33 left to play here inside of Murner Gymnasium. Pfeiffer, again, had it down to 7. And I'll tell you what, it seems like every time the Falcons have tried to make a stab in this deficit, that Piedmont has answered the bell with a couple made threes. They have made 11 threes in this basketball game, and that's a big difference in the game right now. The shooting percentage at halftime, we told you about 67% was the Lions in the first half. Here's Eric Ambrosio. Gets into the paint, kicks it back out to Craig Sabb. Over to the corner, Jones has a seam down the baseline. Couldn't finish, but he was fouled. 2 on the shot clock. This is good. Pfeiffer can score points with the clock stopped here. And they're kind of at the point with 7:05 left in this game that the clock is not on their side, down 14. And Brendan Jones, a pretty good free throw shooter, knocks down the first. He's already been to the charity stripe earlier in this basketball game. This is his second trip. He makes the second. 12-point basketball game. Ty Simmons, Brendan Jones, Craig Sabb, Brian Harper, and Nolan Whitener, the 5 on the floor for the Falcons. They set right back up. 1-2, 1-1, full court press. This is an odd-looking press for Pfeiffer. Here's Lanier at the top of the key, gets it to Alston. It's taken away, had his pocket picked. Craig Sabb on the other end has it stripped out of bounds. Quick hands from Landry Asadesi to deflect that one out of bounds. And Ty Simmons is going to trigger it in with Javon Patton and Josiah Abington, who will check back in. Inbound to Harper. Patton back to Simmons underneath, and Abington had it blocked away. Here comes the Lions on the break. Lanier, Euro steps, lays it in, plus the foul. It's a 14-point lead now for the Piedmont Lions. Ty Simmons picked up the foul. And you've got Marquise Lanier at the line. Off the left side of the rim, and then off Whitener and out of bounds. Back to Piedmont. And Craig Sabb's going to check in for Nolan Whitener. Quick inbound. Nick Ryan couldn't finish. Tipped around. Josiah Abington pulls it away. Here comes Brian Harper. Up the floor, coast to coast. Lays it in. He got the roll as it finally drops. 85-73. Here comes the Pfeiffer full court press. Asanesi spins away. Ty Simmons gambled for a second there to try to steal it. 6:05 left on the game clock now. Both of these teams would like a win on the back end. Layup plus the foul as Lanier bullies his way inside and gets it to go. And Marquise Lanier, the junior guard out of Grayson, Georgia, is at the line. Again, this is a Piedmont team that made the trip from Demorest, Georgia. 15-point game. Javon Patton with the basketball for Pfeiffer. Harper out top, kicks it out to Ty Simmons. Euro steps his way up, tips it out. Patton's trying to save it in bounds. It's out of play. And it'll go back to Piedmont. Whitener, Jones, Abington, Sabb, and Harper on the floor. Couple substitutions for Piedmont. They've got Marquise Lanier as well as Landry Asanesi Elijah Alston, Justin Valleyjoe, or check that, Nick Ryan, and Miles Riley in as Ryan's fouled from behind. Justin Valleyjoe, 29 points today for Piedmont, has really stepped up. He's their leading scorer coming into this game. And he misses off the left side of the rim. The second one is up and good. 16-point Piedmont lead. Harper had it stripped away, and Piedmont has it again with 5:26 as they lose it out of bounds. We've been saying it the entire second half. Now is the time for Pfeiffer to make their move. And 5:27, there's still time in this basketball game for Pfeiffer to come away with the win here at home. But going to have to start making a few more stops as Ambrosio gets into the paint, kicks it back out. Jones will try it long distance. Tipped around, no, and Piedmont comes away with the rebounds. And Marquise Lanier at the top will hand it back off to Landry Asanesi. The crowd starting to chant defense to try and pull Pfeiffer back in this game somehow. Quick crossover dribble. Lanier lowered his shoulder. Offensive foul. There's a start. Pfeiffer needs a bucket here. And Brian Harper's going to check in for Nolan Whitener. 4:49 on the game clock. Jones, left perimeter, gets in the paint, picks up his dribble. Remember, Harper is a perfect 3 of 3 from downtown today. Jones, down the alley, pulls up, can't get it to go. Pfeiffer's 1 and out again on the glass, trailing by 16. Landry Asanesi kicks it over, 3 on the way, misses long. Justin Valleyjoe pulls down the rebound. And Nolan Whitener is going to head over to the scorer's table, as well as Craig Sabb. 4:09 to play. Landry Asanesi with it out front. Backs his way in on Harper. Off balance shot, tipped around. Pfeiffer comes away with the rebound. Here comes Javon Patton. Harper spins. Patton lines it up from straight away. Got it. 89-76, 3:44 to play second half. Here comes Landry Asanesi. Across the timeline for Piedmont. Asanesi trapped, nowhere to go, and a reach-in foul is called against Josiah Avington. And we've reached our final media timeout with 3:35 left to play here in the second half. We'll be right back on the Pfeiffer Falcon Sports Network and GoFalconsports.com. (89-76), 13-point Piedmont lead with 3:35 to go in the second half. And time really not on the Pfeiffer Falcons side with Landry Asanesi at the free throw line. Tickles the twine on the first. This is a good Piedmont team, though. Even though their record 12-8, one of the bigger teams in the conference. They've had 3 straight wins as Asanesi makes the second. And we got whistles. The official's going to walk back over to the scorer's table. Pfeiffer has the basketball. And they've gotten to the line several trips tonight. They're 12 of 14. They've done a good job at the free throw line. 14 made threes for Pfeiffer. You can't knock it there. They're just 25 of 65, 38.5% from the floor. And Piedmont is shooting 60% from the floor, 34 of 56. And they've also chipped in 11 threes. Craig Sabb lines it up from downtown. Couldn't get it to go down with 3:20 to play. Justin Valleyjoe, couple dribbles, gives it up. Piedmont draws the foul on the other end. You got to expect Piedmont to start pulling this thing out and burning the clock. There's only 3:16 left to go in this basketball game. Pfeiffer's 15-3 overall, and all 3 of their losses have come over the last 2.5 weeks. And Marquise Lanier drains the first. The second one's up and good. I don't want to say this is out of reach yet, but 17 points with 3:16. Of course, Pfeiffer is a team that they can get hot quickly. Blake Smith's in the game. He's a deadly outside shooter. Trying to find some space. They dump it inside. Jones bounces it back to Harper. Looking for 2 more. Misses short. And the rebound pulled down by Alston. Down the far sideline to Taylor Mills. And Landry Asanesi is going to hold it. 17 on the shot clock. Quick crossover dribble from Alston. He couldn't get it to go. Brennan Jones corrals the rebound. Here comes Pfeiffer. Blake Smith in transition for 3. Drains it. That's what he does. Blake Smith, a guy the coaches say might could be another Andrew Guerrero in a couple years. He gets those toes down, can knock it. Valleyjoe misses it wildly, and Smith pulls down the rebound. 93-79. And here's the kick over to Smith again. Misses short. We've got a foul against Piedmont. 2:06 to play. Check that. It's going to be against Pfeiffer. And so both teams are over the limit. 10 team fouls here in the second half. And you've got Elijah Alston at the line, only a sophomore. And Pfeiffer just never really could get over the hump. And we saw it 7-8 a couple different times in the second half. And Piedmont would offset it with a couple made threes as Simmons lets it fly. Blake Smith grabs the offensive board and kicks it back out. Out to Smith again, top of the key. He couldn't knock it down. And a push off that wasn't called from Marquise Lanier. Here comes the trap again. They kick it out, 3 on the way, misses long. Justin Valleyjoe an offensive board. Brendan Jones stripped him clean. Right back to Valleyjoe, and he gets it to go. Too much size underneath. 96-79. And here's Javon Patton for 3. He could knock it down. And then a whistle and a foul is called underneath the basket after the rebound from Marquise Lanier. And that's the fourth against Brendan Jones. Again, it's tough. This is a Pfeiffer team. They're shorthanded today. You have your top two scorers out. I mean, Josh Calhoun averages 25 a game. He's one of the top scorers in Division III college basketball. Marcus Sawyers is gone for the rest of the year, a 14-point guy. And those are their averages. We've seen Josh Calhoun drop 46 in a game earlier this year. And it totally changes the rotation. Give Piedmont credit, though. They've given Pfeiffer trouble on the glass as you look in the rebounding department. 45-28 in favor of the Lions, and Valley Joe lays it in. And with 57 seconds left, we've got a timeout. This is to get some other substitutions on the floor. And Piedmont's going to pick up their 13th win of the year. Pfeiffer will fall to 15-4, still bidding for a chance to play in the ECAC tournament. Javon Patton, a shot fake, back to Brendan Jones. Top of the key for three, no. I give the Falcons some credit, though. They did have it down to single digits about 3 times in this basketball game, twice in the second half. And you thought maybe they're going to get over the hump. Just couldn't quite do that today, but still a lot of fight from Pfeiffer in this one as Harper scraps on the floor for the loose ball. Piedmont's got their reserves in. 3 on the way from Drew James, missed everything. Here come the Falcons. Ty Simmons on the other end draws the foul with 16.9 ticks left. Pfeiffer, 3 guys going double figures. Brian Harper with 17, Javon Patton with 16, Josiah Abington with 12. Justin Valley Joe, the big story today, 33 points for Piedmont. A guy that averages right at 17 a game, was 14 of 21 from the field with 10 rebounds, a double-double. And that was a guy that Pfeiffer didn't quite have an answer for today. Of course, he's one of the bigger forwards in the league as Ty Simmons makes them both. Craig Sabb with 9, 7 points from Brendan Jones, 6 from Whitener, 5 from Ty Simmons. Blake Smith, or excuse me, 7 from Ty Simmons. Blake Smith hits a 3 in the second half. Eric Ambrosio with 2, Gabe Miller with 2, and Evan Fauché went scoreless as well. 99-81 is the final score, and Piedmont out-rebounds the Falcons 47-30, and they improved to 13-8 on the year. Piedmont 57% from the field, 36 of 63. Pfeiffer 26 of 74, cold shooting day, 35%. They did make 15 threes on the afternoon, but it just wasn't quite enough as they turned it over 14 times here in this one today. And Pfeiffer will have a few days off before they go to Huntington next weekend. They're at Huntington and at LaGrange next weekend. They'll make the long road trip out of those teams. Pfeiffer 15-4. Kendall Lewis saying so long from Murner Gymnasium.